Kevin Costner's The West. Latest news, cast, premiere date, and everything we know. Kevin Costner's latest venture, The West, an 8-part History Channel documentary series, offers a compelling exploration of the American West's formative years. The story starts as British rule begins to wind down, and primarily delves into the epic history of the United States' westward expansion. Hosted and executive produced by Costner, alongside historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, the documentary series paints a vivid, and often unflinching, portrait of the American frontier. Spanning a century of pivotal events, the series touches on battles over territory and culture. These issues shaped the United States. The documentary series The West begins by framing the American West as a land of boundless opportunity and brutal conflict, a place where ambition collided with harsh realities. The series highlights historical figures, including outlaws, lawmen, cowboys, ranchers, and trailblazing women. It tells the story without shying away from some of the darker aspects of expansion, particularly its devastating impact on Native American populations. The focus of Costner's The West is on the post-Revolutionary War era, when the United States began forging its identity during the nation's rapid expansion. The West opens with Costner addressing the audience directly. He asks, "What do we see when we think of the West?" The 8-part series will attempt to answer the question. Costner talks about what ignited his love for the era. He says that it all started when he was just 7 years old. He had gone to the movies, where he had seen how the West was won. The West is narrated by Costner, who promotes the show on his Instagram, as seen above. The West feels like a natural extension of his Yellowstone persona. It's the perfect outlet for fans that miss his time playing John Dutton. The role was perfect for Costner. He played a man tied to the land, struggling with progress and tradition. In the West, his narration brings a sense of authority. Costner has made multiple other Western-themed films, like Dances with Wolves, Silverado, and Wyatt Earp. During the opening of The West, Costner says, "The West has a power, like nowhere else, to fire up the imagination." His command of history and love for the era really shine through, making him the ideal host for The West. This 8-part docuseries, Kevin Costner's The West, premiered on the History Channel on May 26, 2025. The series picks up immediately after the Revolutionary War has been won. The American settlers had kicked out the British, who ceded the entire continent to them. Despite the fledgling government's attempts to control the early expansion, some settlers saw access to the land as the spoils of war. This was a problem because there were already people living on much of the land. Since premiering on May 26, 2025, Kevin Costner's The West has aired 2 of its 8 episodes. Episode 3 aired yesterday, on Tuesday, May 27, 2025. Moving forward, new episodes will air on Monday nights at 9 p.m. on the History Channel. The series interviews historians and features dramatic reenactments of the incredible story of America's westward expansion. Kevin Costner is riding back into the saddle, and not just metaphorically. After stepping away from Yellowstone amid high drama and creative differences, the Oscar-winning actor and director is forging his own path across the American frontier with a new project that already has Hollywood and history buffs buzzing. The West. This isn't just a show. It's a vision. It's Kevin Costner unleashed. What is The West? Officially titled Kevin Costner's The West, the upcoming docudrama series is being co-produced by the History Channel and Costner's own Territory Pictures. But don't let the word docudrama fool you. This isn't your standard classroom reenactment with monotone narration and dusty facts. Instead, Costner aims to blend storytelling and historical accuracy in a way that reflects the mythic tone of his 1990 classic Dances with Wolves and the gritty spirit of Open Range. According to press releases, the West will chronicle the dramatic evolution of the American West, from the post-Civil War boom through the dawn of the 20th century. It will explore the lives of settlers, outlaws, visionaries, and indigenous leaders whose stories helped shape a divided, daring nation. And yes, Kevin Costner will narrate and appear on screen. Why now? The timing of the West is no coincidence. With Yellowstone approaching its final episodes and Costner's future with the franchise uncertain, the veteran actor-director has made it clear. He's not done telling stories about the untamed heart of America. In fact, he's doubling down. I feel a deep responsibility to honor the stories of the real men and women who lived and died out there, Costner recently told Variety. Not just the legends, but the ones history tried to forget. The project also aligns with his other Western epic, Horizon, an American saga, a 4-part film series premiering in theaters throughout 2025. While Horizon is fiction, the West promises to provide historical context to many of the themes Costner has explored for decades: rugged landscapes, moral dilemmas, and the collision between ambition and identity. The cast, blending fiction and fact. While most docudramas rely heavily on narration and stock footage, the West aims to go big with its cast and cinematic presentation. Costner himself will appear in select episodes, but not always as the same character. Think of it like Drunk History meets Band of Brothers, but with a sun-drenched sepia filter and a lot more horses. Here's what we know so far about the cast. Kevin Costner, expected to appear in multiple roles, including frontier generals, ranchers, and explorers. He's also executive producing and writing. Sienna Miller, rumored to portray a frontier nurse turned landowner who defies 19th century gender norms. Miller previously starred alongside Costner in Horizon. Graham Greene, the celebrated indigenous actor and Costner's Dances with Wolves co-star, is in talks to portray Sitting Bull in an emotionally charged arc. Luke Grimes, while unconfirmed, insiders say the Yellowstone alum may cameo as a soldier-turned-gunslinger, in what some see as a symbolic passing of the torch. Kelsey Asbill, in line to portray a schoolteacher navigating the complexities of race, loyalty, and survival in the Reconstruction-era West. Wes Studi, another titan of indigenous representation, Studi will reportedly appear as a tribal elder whose resistance and resilience challenge Western expansion myths. Costner has said he wants the cast to reflect the true diversity of the American West, not just cowboys and saloons, but families, warriors, immigrants, and everyone in between. Filming locations, wide open spaces. Production is already underway, with scenes being shot in Utah, New Mexico, and Montana, all familiar territory for Costner. Monument Valley, with its iconic red rock butts, is expected to serve as a visual centerpiece for several episodes. One notable aspect: Costner has insisted on using practical sets, period-accurate clothing, and limited CGI. "I want this to feel like history," he told Deadline. "When people watch the West, I want them to hear the wind, smell the leather, understand the weight of every step." Themes and stories to expect. While the full episode breakdown remains under wraps, early clues suggest a sweeping timeline that could stretch from the 1860s to the 1890s. Each episode may spotlight a different character or region, allowing the show to paint a panoramic picture of America's westward expansion. Planned episodes include Blood on the Tracks, the building of the Transcontinental Railroad and the devastating impact on indigenous lands. Buffalo Wars, the slaughter of bison and the survival of native tribes amid military occupation. Hell on Wheels, the rise and ruin of boo towns that thrived and died along the frontier. The Women Who Stayed, a female-centered look at homesteaders, doctors, and entrepreneurs. Ghosts of the Gold Rush, the obsession, greed, and myth-making behind one of America's most dramatic economic bubbles. Expect plenty of shootouts, heartbreaks, hard truths, and poignant reflections, all backed by a haunting, orchestral score that Costner's team is composing with native musicians and Western folk artists. Release date and format. Kevin Costner's The West is set to debut on the History Channel in early 2026, likely in an 8-episode limited series format. However, insiders say if the first season is a hit, the network and Costner may explore additional seasons covering other historical eras, such as the Dust Bowl or the rise of oil empires in Texas.